Gondola. That's one of the programs that one of my creator friends just recently used while we were staying at the Porsche Experience Hotel. And it was a really interesting experience and it had a lot of features that I thought a lot of you all would benefit from. Like this program can give you suggestions, it can condense all your credit card points to make sure that you're getting the best value. But I asked him to come on and he'll talk more about it. So how you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Nice to see you. You shocked me, you surprised me.
Yeah, I had to get you on this call. So you're going to have to explain this to me. You spoke with, I believe, the co-founder of Gondola, if not the founder himself, and it's a pretty interesting program that I've been looking into. And from my understanding, it like puts all your points together and uses an AI to make sure that you're maximizing your points. But not only that, if you're deciding to use cash to book this, then you'll also get a percentage back on your booking, and it's like booking direct.
And that's why like I really do enjoy Gondola, because there are other solutions for it, but Gondola just makes things very easy where it literally is a direct booking. Like I did this recently when we went to Atlanta, actually, when we stayed at the Porsche Hotel, or I guess it has a different name now, but the hotel right next to the Porsche Museum. I actually used my Gondola cash to actually book direct with that particular hotel. It was actually my first IHG stay ever. And so with that stay, I was able to earn, I guess technically an elite night. I also did the same thing when I went to Hilton Head Island recently, where I actually used, I paid with, cash again for a Hilton hotel in Hilton Head Island. And again, I was able to earn all of my base points on the stay. It was probably like a couple thousand points, something like that.
Wow.
And I was able to get a couple of elite nights as well because it was direct. And there was literally no difference in as if I were to book on the hotel app, like Hilton specifically, or Gondola. Like literally no difference, other than Gondola will give you cash back as well. So like 3% or whatever the actual percentage is now. I think it's 3% on top of your bookings. So like I can get all the same benefits I would get by booking Hilton direct, but now I'm just getting an extra 3% by using Gondola. To me, I'm like, okay, that's easy value add. And it was very seamless. There was no issues at check-in. You would have never known that I booked not through, Hilton themselves.
Do you have to add your numbers beforehand, or do you have to add it in check-in, or how does that work?
So when you're in Gondola, and not even to mention like how much I like, the UI and stuff. I said that a bunch of times, but this is actually the landing page for Gondola. They'll showcase like if they're Washington DC, they'll show you all of the different hotels in that particular area for the dates that you're looking for, exactly the cash per night, and also the points per night, and it'll show you the cent per point right then and there. So I'm like, I actually use this as a great tool to figure out what's the most efficient use of my points for any given destination. So actually, it's almost like a Seats.Arrow-esque type tool where it'll show you like the cheapest points price or like the best cent per point for whatever hotels might be in the area. Of course, you have to do your own research on is it a good hotel or not, but let me show you the actual workflow. So let's say we want to book this Waldorf Astoria. And so it's going to show the pictures and you can look at the reviews and it's going to show a lot of things. And it's actually going to show you the breakdown right then and there of not just points per night, but actually your total earnings. So it's going to show like, between 11 and 13%, which breaks down to really about 7% loyalty earnings. That's what we were talking about. Like if you're paying cash, you'll be earning, 10 points per dollar spent base just by being a Hilton Honors member. If you have the Hilton Aspire card, add on another 14 points per dollar spent on that for your credit card earnings, and then Diamond status gives you even more. And then obviously it factors in your credit card earnings as well. And then the 3% Gondola cashback that they give you, they show you how many points you actually have. So my Hilton Honors account is already preloaded into Gondola itself. So like if I wanted to book this, let's say points rate, let's say we do want to pay with points for this day. Never mind, I don't have enough points. Let's say we do want to do cash. You'll be able to see right here, this is my Hilton Honors member. You can see I'm gold status and my member loyalty number is already preloaded. So this way, I don't even have to think about anything. I could just put in my payment method. And when I go to check in that day, they already see, it looks like a direct booking. So there's no difference there. And you're already preloaded as, here's Anthony Venture. He's a Hilton Gold member. It's already set up. So you don't even have to worry about when you get there to preload this information into it. It's almost like FHR. Sometimes I've had to do that, like with Amex Platinum, where I had to go in there and be like, here's my loyalty number. Then sometimes you get perks. In this case, no, it's already preloaded. You do it beforehand, and then you'll be good to go. If you didn't do it beforehand, since it is direct booking, you'll still be entitled to all of your benefits. So yeah, you should be able to go to the hotel no problem if you book through Gondola and then input your loyalty number. So yeah, I don't think there'll be any issue on that front.
So that's actually interesting. So I saw on the page that you were showing, it said cents per point. I think it said right next to the point price. Is that what's going on there?
Yeah, so as I showed a little bit before, it'll show you the points price for a particular hotel plus the cash price. It's already doing the math on the back end for you. So you can see like, oh, the St. Regis, it's 0.8 cents per point with Marriott points. It's actually like not bad for Marriott points. But this Waldorf Astoria is almost zero point 0.7, so 0.67 with Hilton points. Not terrible. It's kind of in line with what's typical. But one thing I actually like to do nowadays is I can hit where to. And let's say we want to go to DC, just because there's so many different hotels out there. And then I'm going to hit search, and it'll actually curate, not only just all the hotels in that particular area, and then also all the different rewards programs that you can be in for that area. So we're looking at IHG, the Watergate Hotel, which Calby actually himself has stayed in, Hilton Honors, Marriott hotels, Hyatt hotels, even Accor, so many different ones. And you can check by loyalty program. So not only just the hotel brand themselves, is it Hilton, is it Hyatt, is it all these, but also by credit card issuer. So like if you only have American Express points, it's going to auto-populate with the two transfer partners that American Express has, like Choice and Hilton Honors. So I can hit apply, and then wham, bam, it's going to show me everything within those two, and also Marriott as well, which is a transfer partner for American Express. And so we can do all of that. Or you could do the best points value, hit apply, and it's going to show you, basically all the hotels that have, at least decent cent per point, I would say. Like these over 1 cent per point for Marriott, which I would say is actually pretty dang good, honestly, on average. Or even World of Hyatt, hotels like this Hyatt Place, DC, over 2 cents per point, which is pretty decent as well. And so it's just an easy way to kind of curate all the different hotels or given hotels in an area that you're trying to go to. Not only is it available to book with points price, but then also how good is that points price given the cash amount for that time of the year. And so if you are somebody that has a bunch of different loyalty programs, you kind of have your lay of the land, and you can choose which program makes sense for you based on like how nice is the hotel, so like a level of standard that you may have, and then how many points do I have to spend to do a lot of nights. Like if I'm just trying to do many nights, maybe I would consider doing this Choice hotel and do 5 nights at 15,000 Choice points, maybe transferring Amex points instead of transferring over to double the amount of points you would need for this Hilton hotel, as far as like Amex and their transfer ratio. So I think it's just a good way to kind of curate and see, the best value for the place that you're going to.
Definitely seems really powerful because I maybe is this fair to say? Because a lot of the times how I first start searching for a lot of these hotels or even flights is I'll go through Google Flights or Google Hotels, just kind of go through it, but that doesn't help me when I'm trying to use credit card points, right? And then to use the credit card points, I have to open up every single individual tab versus it seems like it's all here.
Yeah, it saves so much time. And especially the way I like to do it too is like I'll see whatever currency I may have, and then I'll kind of look from there. And then what I like to do is I'll just click on here, and I can read the reviews right then and there. And usually I'll sort by newest first, just see like how good this place actually is, because like you can have a great cent per point hotel, great value, but yeah, like terrible service. But this one actually looks to have some great reviews, and I would just go down the line and just read more and more of these. So I like that it's all in one place. Everything that I basically would want to do when searching for the best hotel is all in one place. And I like that it says, refundable and non-refundable rates as well, to get it all done. So yeah, 100%. I love everything about it.
All right, so that's all fine and dandy, but like since they have all your rewards numbers, is it like, would you say it's safe? Like how do they even get those kind of numbers?
Yeah, so pretty much what happens is when you go to sign up for Gondola, I think they've added a couple more options since when I signed up, because I think it was only Gmail, but I think they added more. So basically what I did is I just put in my email, my Gmail that I use for most loyalty programs. So like I have separate emails for most loyalty programs, and then I have separate emails for business and all that. So I put in my loyalty program email that I use for a majority of them. And so once you put that in, it'll auto take all of the loyalty member emails that you've ever sent. So like, I don't know, if you booked a Delta flight, like they've sent you those emails. Anything you have connected to that email will be auto put into Gondola itself. Yeah, so if I click points at the top here, you could see that it's going to be showing all of the different loyalty programs that you have connected to that email itself. So I have like my Hilton, I have my Hyatt, my Marriott, Choice, even my airlines. So you can see I have my American Airlines, my Air Canada, Delta, Air France, Southwest, all of these that I have connected to this particular email. And so that, some people mention like, oh, it seems like it's a privacy concern. There's an issue there. I mean, personally, I never really had an issue with it. After talking to the co-founder, I asked him because people had those concerns. He was like, well, obviously you're taking my word for it, but, he says that they're only taking the emails that have to do with loyalty programs. So if it was like an at Hilton and at Hyatt, like they're just scrubbing that and then using that to input all this. If you do not want to do that, you don't have to. I believe there's a way to opt in being able to, or just what some people actually recommend, just create a new Gmail, which takes like 1 minute to do, and then just use that to sign up. And then you could still use the normal search feature and, plug things in as you go if you want to. But the idea is they're trying to make it as simple as possible. So like if you have, 130,000 Hilton points, I can use those points to book direct on this website. I never have to leave Gondola to book either cash prices, but then also points as well, points bookings, which is actually like, I think this is the first website to ever allow for something like that. And so if you want that ease of use, then yeah, you can add in the Gmail. And I think that's what people recommend. It's like, if you feel like there's issues with sending an email out or using an email in a particular way, okay, then just like use an email specifically for your loyalty programs like I do, and then it'll auto-populate most of it. And if you look down in the pinned comment below, Calby has his own referral link where not only will he get $50, but you'll also get $50 after your first booking. So, hey, man, you can use that to your advantage, get some free stays, hopefully.
So they're doing this thing recently, from my understanding, that if you book something within 30 days and have this like status challenge, instead of getting that 3%, you'll be getting 5% cash back. Well, not cash back, but Gondola cash back for your stays. So you can use that cash back to book more hotel stays.
Yeah, exactly. You can see it right here, 5% of the status challenge, earn an extra 5% for the next year. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good little thing. They mentioned triple dip on points, 3 bookings within 30 days, cash redeemable towards any hotel. So yeah, I just figure it's just like, even if you just never use, like, I don't know, if you never use it for points bookings, you only use it for cash bookings. If you get nothing else, because you can book direct or you can book through Gondola, but at the very least, get the extra 3% or 5%. Eventually, over time, it'll build up to be enough to book some stays, in the future, I feel. Really, I haven't found any downside. I haven't found any issues with Gondola so far. I guess the only issue was when we did go to that IHG hotel, when I went to go check in, since it was so late, like it was literally like 1 a.m. by the time I checked in, I guess the system in the back end never fully updated that Gondola paid for the hotel, but I think that probably would have happened if I just booked it myself personally anyway. I'm not really sure how it works, but apparently it's just how they, organize the payment on the back end. It eventually updated by 8 a.m. the following day, but when I went to go check in, they were like, oh, I see a card on file, but it doesn't say you paid yet, even though I had already paid on Gondola like a half hour prior to that. And so I ended up using my credit card to book it, which was like a $200 stay. So I paid the $200 on my card. It was pending on my card, but eventually went away. And then Gondola took over the payment. So it was only like iffy thing. But had I never noticed that, I don't think I would have even been any the wiser. Like everything would have worked out smoothly anyway, except I would have had an extra charge on my card, but then it went away. So I think that's a weird edge case. Most people aren't using, like, booking a Gondola stay at 1 a.m. and then checking in at like 1:20. So I think I think it would have been fine, but that was the only weird thing. But it sold itself out. It's by itself anyway.
I'm just thinking on the top of my head too, when you were checking in, I was kind of surprised when you were checking in that, so when you're booking on Expedia, a lot of times they try to position you on like lower floors. They try to position you like facing the trash can, which was, it's something really interesting that I've noticed being in the points and miles game, that that's not normal, But how was your experience? I mean, they even upgraded you to a higher floor from my understanding.
That's right. Yeah, it was so I will say in two parts. One, for your hotel, the IHG. So we both were staying at this Porsche hotel, and so when I was checking in, I don't know what floor they would have given me because I kind of interjected and I was like, hey, can I stay on the same floor as him, as to kind of like ask for an upgrade without actually asking for an upgrade because you got upgraded to a good floor. So I don't know if that helped in my favor. I think it did. But at least for the Hilton hotel that I booked out there, it was just a simple home to brand. And there are no really upgraded rooms at that particular one. I think it was on a higher floor, and I think it was an okay view, but I couldn't tell you if it was like the worst room or the best room in the hotel, to be honest. It's a low level place, nothing crazy.
I also was looking into some other features and I saw, maybe you have more to say about this, but they can track your hotel prices and airline prices. Do you know how that works?
Yeah, so in conjunction with all the points and whatnot, you can actually track. You could also track your stays, your upcoming stays. So you can see here, I have a few different hotels booked. It doesn't show all of them. I'm still not fully sure what populates and what doesn't, but most of the stays that I have booked, or even the flights, it doesn't show any right now, but in the past it showed a bunch of my flights. Those all will populate in the trip section. So it's like a nice little place to show like, oh, everything you have coming up travel wise, in the next, coming years. And so one thing that's interesting is this auto save feature right here, which, yeah, it says when you link a card, Gondola will automatically check for price drops on hotel reservations. If there's a drop, we'll hold your reservation at a newer, lower price. And so, yeah, if I paid cash for these particular hotels, at least at this time, and it dropped, $50, it in theory should monitor me, and then I can go and rebook myself. I think they're working on the idea of if it drops, they'll auto rebook you. So if they have all of your information, that actually should be no problem. And so I think they're working on that. And I think also for points prices as well. Yeah, you can kind of see here, like I have this Hyatt Centric in Tokyo. I have 140,000 points here. It says that you can do autosave there as well, which I believe can maybe monitor the points, but don't quote me on that. Same goes for the flights too. Flights, they have actually recently introduced flight monitoring. So if like your flight drops in price, if it's populated in here, they'll alert you and then you can rebook for a much cheaper price. So I think that's game changer, especially if they can get it automatic to where you don't even have to think about it, but it saves you money. Oh my God. I mean, I would pay good money just to have that, just to be like, oh, I save you points price, ward availability drop for a standard room versus whatever, or just the flight cost drop. That would be a really, really cool tool if it did that.
Yeah, that was all pretty interesting, especially all the tools and all the little gadgets that you can use that actually help the credit card community. So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
100%. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate you.
So like we said earlier, if you want to try this out and do direct bookings while also getting cash back, almost like a Rakuten, then make sure to use that referral link down below, because when you use that referral link, when you first book your first hotel, you'll get $50 and you'll get to do a status challenge where you book a certain amount of hotels and you'll get an elevated cash back in Gondola Cash. Therefore, you can use that Gondola Cash to book another hotel. So definitely check it out for yourself, and I'll see you later.